Good morning, TV receiving teachers, students, and viewers throughout the country. It is my pleasure as Secretary for Education to formally welcome you all back to school for the 2007 academic year. This year, 2007, will have a lot of challenges for us, but I would like to encourage all the teachers, the students, and the parents in the education system to work together to make 2007 academic year a trouble-free and successful one. In 2005, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, in partnership with the Education Department, implemented the TV program called Enhancing Quality in Teaching through Television Program. This program, as we all know, is currently trialed in 33 schools in East Sepik and 34 schools in the autonomous region of Bougainville, with a total audience of about 12,000 students viewing the programs. The programs enable students and teachers in 2 model provinces to receive lessons through television. This television program supports the curriculum, the reform in the curriculum, in assisting teachers to effectively implement the outcome-based curriculum in their lessons. Already we've seen some very useful benefits for the students, and these benefits include building up confidence in themselves, promoting gender equality in education, motivating students, and having students to have access to reform curriculum materials and improve students' attendance rate. The program also has got benefits for the teachers. Some of these benefits include enhancing their capacities in terms of improving their subject knowledge, enabling the teachers to know and learn new strategies of teaching, enable teachers to have access to equipment and materials, and to have exposed to the outcome-based method of teaching. The community also has experienced some benefits or impacts from this program. First one is that it enabled them to have access to television and to have exposure to outside activities through increased support to the school initiatives and promote unity among the communities. Television as a medium used in the delivery of education to children of Papua New Guinea is seen as a step forward in technology. I therefore appeal to all teachers, students, board of management, and the respected communities to show a sense of respect and understanding to what has been given to the schools. I acknowledge the continued support of important stakeholders in education, including the students, teachers, parents, communities, and churches, NGOs, donor agencies, and provincial authorities. A special word of thank you goes to our national television station, MTV, for the free airtime that they have put aside for the broadcast of these television lessons. I look forward to working with the donor agencies that have set aside and seen education as a fundamental means through funding of projects in education institutions throughout the country. In conclusion, I'd like to say that television is a new mode of study that is used to improve basic education. However, for the project to be successful, we need the support from the students, teachers, and the community to make 2007 a successful academic year.
class, the receiving students and teachers. Thank you. You may be seated. Class, the receiving students and teachers, I'm Mrs. Watlangas. I will be one of your teachers, science teachers. There are 4 of us. I'll be one of them who will be teaching you. And I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our first science lesson for this year. And I hope we will all work together, cooperate together to make this year's learning a better learning for us. Thank you all.
Hello, I'm Mr. Wapa. I'll be one of your science teachers, and I'm looking forward to learn with you as I teach you. Thank you.
Hello, class and receiving students. I am Mr. Kwadogi, one of your science teachers for this year, and I am pleased to be with you and will be teaching you for our science lessons. Thank you.
Hello, receiving students and model class. I am Miss Godwa. I will be taking you for the science lessons for this week, and after that, the other model teachers will take over from me. But first of all, I'd like you all to sit up straight, smile to the person sitting next to you, receiving students and model class. All right. I will start you off with a discussion question, and you will have only 1 minute to discuss, or 1 minute to discuss this question with your group members. Receiving students, I hope you're all in your groups, same as the model class, we are all in our groups. So when we talk about discussion, every one of us should be discussing and sharing ideas together. Now, looking up on the monitor, you can see in pairs or in groups, if you'd like to discuss what do you think we are made of, or what do you think living things are made of. When we talk about living things, we are referring to plants and animals. That's right. So 1 minute discussion with the person sitting next to you or in groups. You may begin now, model class and the receiving students. Have some good answers. Right, let's hear from one student in the class. We are made out of bones, we have flesh, we have blood. From there on further, if you look further, what are we really made of? And we have one answer. Receiving teachers and the model class, our strand is on living things. Class, what is our sub-strand? Let's all read together. Very good. And we are on this learning outcome 8.2.1, which reads, describe and explain the processes of reproduction in living things and how the environment influences these processes. So you will be given many activities to do around this learning outcome 8.2.1. Let's see if our friend's answer is correct. Our topic for today, class, let's read together. The cells. I hope you have gone through this topic in your previous grades. Is that true? In grade 7 and 6? All right, let's see if we can still recall back to what we have learned in grade 6 and 7. Now, let me introduce to you our topics. our activities that we will be doing in today's lesson. Activity 1 for today's lesson, you will be identifying or finding the parts of a cell. And activity 2, you are going to find the differences and similarities in animal and plant cells. Right? So you will do that in today's lesson. You have 2 activities to do. Receiving students, we will be showing you, if you don't have your worksheets in front of you, the exercise will be provided for you on the monitor where you will copy and complete your activity. For the model class, you will be given worksheets to work on. Right. Now, when we talk about cells, do we see the cells using our naked eyes? No, you cannot see cells. Now, if I show you this leaf here, this is a leaf, it's from a plant, comes from a frangipani plant, all right? Now, from where you are, receiving students and model class, I wonder if any of you can see the cells of this plant. Okay, no one will say yes, but there is an instrument that we use to help us observe, or scientists use, or anybody that use a lab, and if that equipment is available, they use that equipment to observe very, very little things that, or living things that we cannot see using our eyes. So what is it? Class? A microscope. So in front of me, you can see here on the table, all right? This is a small microscope that is used in the lab. Can someone tell me what is it used for? Livingstone, thank you.
It is used to study tiny objects.
Very good. Study things or objects that we cannot see. It helps us to see those things so they become bigger. So in the microscope you have lenses in there that will magnify, the correct term to use is magnify things where you can be able to see. Otherwise, if you use your own eyes, you cannot see that. Now let's have a look at 2 pictures. This morning we will be looking at 2 types of cells, which is animal cell and plant cell. Now, you can see here for animal cell, the picture above is magnified 1,000 times, meaning it has been magnified 1,000 times its original size. Right? And this picture here comes from cells from inside the lining of a human cheek. Okay, inside your mouth, your cheeks inside, they have magnified or observed the cell under a microscope, and they've identified, or the structure of the cell has been identified, and the parts as well. All right? Why do you think we used a human cheek or the lining of a human cheek? Okay, I'll give you the answer: because it is transparent. You can easily look through your flesh. If you open your mouth, you look through, and it's transparent. Therefore, this picture has been used, the human cheek cell. Next to it is from a leaf, and this leaf has been magnified 600 times its original size. And you can see they've identified the cells from the leaf, and the cells, the animal cell and the plant cell do have their parts, different parts. Okay. You want to learn the parts of the cell? Animal and plant cells? You must know, because you are made out of cells. All right. Let's look at our activity, first activity to start us off. Okay. I'd like someone to please read to us the instruction of the first activity.
Correctly label the parts of the animal cell and the plant cell.
Right, good. Okay, this is the animal cell, and the next one is the plant cell. What you've seen in the previous picture, let's go back to the previous picture. What you've seen in the previous picture, this is the real picture, and this is a model, meaning they drew this. Out of this real picture, they drew this one. Understand? Out of this real picture, this one has been drawn. So these two are models, and what your activity is asking you to do, showing the models, the diagrams of plant and animal cells. All clear? All right, good. Let's see the different parts. This is an arrow pointing to this black part here. It has its name. You must discuss with the people, students sitting next to you, to come up with that name. This is another arrow pointing here, where this blue area here, it has its name of the animal cell, and this one here points to part of a cell. Okay, so animal cell, we have 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 parts that you have to identify. Animal cell, there are one pointing to the black dot here, it has its name. 2 to this green, little green dots here, green circles. 3 to this white area here, it has its name. 4 to this line inside the black line, and 5 to another line that is drawn outside of this cell. Okay. You want me to give you some clues to help you start off? All right. Give me a smile if you want some clues from me. Okay. Thank you. Good smiles. Let's begin with the clues. All right. You are on activity number 1. You are to label the different parts of the cells, animal cell and plant cell. These are the clues, which means I am going to give you the words of those different parts of the cells. Okay, first one, looking up, nucleus and its definition, cytoplasm and its definition, vacuoles and the definition for that. Next part, we have chloroplast, cell membrane and cell wall. So you will use those words and the definition to identify the different parts of the cells. Is that clear with you? All right, let's begin now in bio All right, the definitions will help you. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. You can guess if you'd like to, because at the end of the lesson, you will learn the correct names of the different parts of the cells, okay, both plants and animals. So you may guess if you wish to. They made me angry, so I didn't prepare the PowerPoint properly, because I was relying on it. Tommy, you do. Alright, we should be finishing by now because we have the next activity to do. Okay, good. You can use a pencil or you can use your Bible later when we go through it. Okay. That's good. Alright, what about plant cells? Yes, good. Come on. You can talk with your group members to see. Yes, good. At least you have something written. That's good. That's it. Very good. Finish? You don't have a worksheet. I'm sorry. We will give you after the lessons when we run out of copy, but you all work together. You will have your copies. Alright, if you think that you cannot go further or get a survey blue, you stop, then just leave the activity as it is and we will move on to the next one, or after our corrections you can make your own corrections. Okay, shall we start off with our first answer? Before we do that, let's quickly go through the words again that will help you to identify the parts of the cell. Nucleus is the central part of a living cell that controls all the activities of the cell. Cytoplasm, a jelly-like substance that makes up a cell. Vacuoles, large liquid filled spaces in plant cells. Chloroplast contain the green pigment that absorbs light energy required for photosynthesis. Cell membrane is a thin covering that surrounds a cell. that controls the movement of substances into and out of the cell. And the last one is cell wall, which is a thick layer which protects the softer parts inside the cell and helps support the plant. All right, so I've got that diagram also on the whiteboard, which means I will have a couple of students to come up and write their answers down using the diagram that I have on the whiteboard. All right, let's start with the plant cell. One student if you have finished labeling the parts, please come up with your worksheet. Use your worksheet to help you label the parts. Okay, all the parts of the plant cell. Hands up if you have similar, your answer similar to our friend here. All right. Some of you different. Okay, let's see who is correct and who's not correct. Let's see. First one, number 1, cell wall. That is correct. All right. In a plant cell, we have cell wall. Cell wall is the part that is right outside the plant cell, and cell wall supports the plant and makes it firm and also protects the softer parts of the cell. The inside parts that are soft, cell wall protects that. Like we have our classroom walls, same as plant cell. It has walls to protect the inside part of the cell and to make the plant firm, and it supports the plant. Is that clear? All right, that's cell wall. Now, inside the cell wall, we have the cell membrane. So this is correct. You have one for cell wall, right? Next is the cell membrane. Cell membrane controls what goes into the cell and what comes out of the cell. Okay. And this is for plant cell. Next, moving on, these circles here, but in a real picture, a colored picture, you will see green pigment. This green pigment in there is called chloroplast, not cytoplasm. So this would be chloroplast. Okay. Chloroplast contains the green pigment. That is why you see every leaf has the color green. Inside that chloroplast contains this substance called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll helps the plant to make its food. And that process of making food is called photosynthesis. Okay, next, let's move on to number 4. Since we got chloroplast already, what do you think number 4 would be? Nucleus. Class, let's say the word together. Nucleus. Okay. What is the job of nucleus? It controls all the activities of the cell. Very good. And that part that I did not label on your worksheet, you can label it now as we go through the correction, is vacuoles, which is wrong. This should be cytoplasm. Okay, so this number 5, this area here of the plant cell, cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that is in the cell. And the last one, vacuoles, refers to large liquid filled space in the plant cell. Right? So some plants, not plants, but all plants, when you cut, you see the sap of the plant. Is that true? Yes, okay. This is filled with liquid, right? And it is large and it's filled with liquid. All right, what about animal cells? Let's look at the animal cell. Number 1, cell wall. Hands up if you got cell wall. Very good. Give yourself a tick. We have cell wall is correct. Next one, nucleus. And the last one, cytoplasm. Have you realized that there are some differences and similarities in both plants, both cells? Plant and animal cells? Yes or no? Yes. All right. Our next activity is on that. You will have to identify the similarities and differences of plant and animal cells. Receiving students, I hope you have your answers as the same as the model class. We will now move on to activity number 2. Are we ready for activity 2? Let's move on. Activity 2. Okay, what you have already labeled, you will study the diagram. You will write the similarities, what is same with the 2 different cells, and what is different with the 2 different cells. Hands up if you don't understand this activity. Nobody? Okay, let's see if we can do that smartly, and we should finish on time. Thank you. What is a cell? Sorry. Finish. So, cell wall. No. You study this is. Sorry, it should be cell membrane. Sorry, class, I'll stop you for a while. There is a little error here. This should be not cell wall, but it should be cell membrane. Sorry about that. Correction, not cell wall, cell membrane for animal cell. Just write membrane there. That's okay. That's a minor mistake. You got rid of cell wall, so you just replace wall with membrane. All right, I will stop you very shortly. Please share your ideas if you wish to share with the person sitting next to you. Or if you think you cannot go further, wait for your friends to help you when they give the answers. All right, let's move on and see what we have. Can someone please give us the similarities between the two cells, plant and animal cell? Leonie. Leonie will read out the answer for us for letter A.
Cell membrane.
Right, good. She's giving us the name of the part of the cell that's common or the same between the plant and the animal cell. Cell membrane. Yes, they have the same names for the same parts. Next one. Yes. Read out what you have got for letter A.
Nucleus.
Good. Nucleus and cluster. Last one. Cytoplasm. So they have nucleus, the same cytoplasm and cell membrane. Hands up if you got that. Very good. Hands down if you don't. Please do your corrections. And what is the difference between the plant and animal cell? Thank you. Let's have your answer.
Difference between plant cell and animal cell. Cell wall, chloroplast, vacuoles.
Right. So you are referring to which plant? Which cell?
Plant cell.
Plant cell. So you're saying animal cells don't have cell wall,
Vacuoles.
chloroplast, and
Vacuoles.
vacuoles. Yes, correct. So you will find that the difference is animals, they don't have that part. Why don't they have those parts? Do you think animals make their own food? Including you, human being? Yes or no? We look for our food, all right? Our bodies don't make the food that we need for our bodies. We go and look for food, our rice and tin fish, and we eat, and there we get energy to work and play. Dog as well and the other animals, they go out to look for their food. That is why they don't have cell wall, chloroplast, and the other part that you have mentioned. For plants, they make their own food. Therefore, they have cell walls, they have chloroplast, that green pigment, where that pigment helps them to make their food. So I am giving you the difference between the plant and animal cells. Now, someone to give us the definition of cell. What do you think cell is in your own words? After we went through this activity, now you should have a fair idea of what is a cell. Anyone's got an answer? Okay, nobody? You want me to give you? Oh, yes, thank you. Let's try hear from you.
A cell is a surrounding wall which avoid danger from the whole part of the cell.
Thank you. Good try. Very good. Try. A cell is the basic unit of life. Without cells, you won't exist. Plants won't exist. Animals won't exist. So, cells is a basic unit of life. How did this leaf get its shape? Through what? Cells. How did you get your ear shape? Okay, your ear, you are made of millions and millions of cells. So cells are building blocks of life. Right. Now let's quickly go through some more corrections. Right. This is a clear picture of what we have done so far. Cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. Let's have a look at another diagram showing the labels of the different parts of the plant cell. We have gone through that already. It's for you to just cross-check and see whether you have that correctly written. Right. Our summary for today's lesson, I'd like you to quickly copy that down somewhere at the bottom of your worksheet, or if you have your exercise book, receiving students, please copy that down quickly. All living things are made up of cells. Our next lesson is on characteristics of living things. That will be our next lesson, and our key word for today's lesson is cell. Thank you, class, for participating.